Well, guys, it's that time of the week again. New comic book day is tomorrow. So let's see what books are coming out so I can tell you what I'm getting. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. I hope your air conditioning's working. I hope you're not sitting behind hot lights filming YouTube videos, and I hope you're having fun. Now, this week is another new comic book day, of course, Wednesday, August the 3rd. And I got several books on my list. It's a light week. It's actually, the whole month of August is kind of light for me, which is exciting. But it's a light week. I got, 7 books to go over. But I'm very excited about them all. In fact, there's not a book that I'm more excited for this week than Batman, issue 126. Written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Jorge Jimenez. Chip Zdarsky is also writing the backup story featuring Catwoman. And look, I tried to find a reason to make a different book my pick of the week. But it's Team Batman all day, and Chip Zdarsky's doing a great job. So the first issue was really good. We got a brand new villain revealed on the final page. The Penguin. That's not a school. It's a month old. So the Penguin died in the last issue. I should have said spoiler alert. My bad. But the Penguin died. It appears as if Batman killed him. We know that's not the case. But overall, it was just a very fast-paced issue. Batman's kind of been thrown off his square a little bit. He knows something's not all the way right in his head. But overall, it was a great, fresh start. Cat hair on my mustache. But overall, it was a great first issue. It was a great fresh start. We start off by addressing 3 Jokers, and I don't want to recap the issue. Maybe we'll do a review or something. But Chip Zdarsky's era started with Batman 125, and it's good. It's really good. It's fast paced. It's a Batman book, right? But after the last 2 years, basically ever since Joker War, it's been in this weird state of limbo, and it's just not felt super exciting. It feels exciting again, so that's good. And then the backup story featuring Catwoman, basically she's got to find the heirs to Oswald Cobblepot's fortune. So that's going to be an interesting side story as well. But overall, an entertaining issue, and therefore issue 126 is at the top of my want to read pile this week. And it's got a cover price of $4.99. I'm just getting cover A. And next up on the DC Comics pull list, since we are talking about DC, Dark Crisis, aka Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 3 out of 7. So this is the big event going on at DC right now. Although I gotta admit, it doesn't exactly feel like it, because all the books that I was reading before are still going on as normal. But, eventually I'm assuming this is going to have ramifications for the rest of the DC universe. Justice League died in Justice League 75, and this is how their deaths are being avenged, and that's how we're going to get them back. Apparently, Hal Jordan's the star of this issue. But I'm feeling event fatigued. I actually paused my reading of Dark Crisis once they announced that it's actually called Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it's basically a direct follow-up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. I was like, well, maybe I should read Crisis on Infinite Earths first. So once I get through those 12 issues and all of the verbose dialogue that are entailed in them, then I'll get back and jump on the Dark Crisis wave. But whatever. Dark Crisis number 3's got a cover price of $4.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And the last book on the DC Comics pull list is DC vs. Vampires number 8. James Tynion, Matthew Rosenberg. Somebody's doing art this week. I don't know. I'm 2 issues behind on this. It's exciting, but again, there's so much other stuff going on in the DC universe. This just feels like a side quest, and it's not as good a side quest as Dark Knights of Steel, which is my Elseworlds of choice right now. So I'm gonna read it. These sound like reasons for books not to be on my pull list, and if you feel that way, touche, you're probably right. But it's reading priorities. I'm going to get back to DC versus Vampires soon, though. But in the meantime, issue 8 has a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that's it. Those are the only books on the DC Comics pull list this week. If I just stick to the list, those are going to cost me $14. Now, let's move over to the House of Ideas to Marvel Comics, where both books on my pull list are X-Men related, and they are part of another world-spanning crossover. Can you tell I'm kind of over these crossover events? Anyway, first up on the list is Immortal XMen number 5, which is the one of the two, or this is the least excited I am about these two. There's a way to say that that's better, but it's hot and I'm rushing. And this is going to be done in one take, no matter what. But I'm more excited for XMen Red than Immortal XMen, but both are a part of this whole, like, what is it called? Judgment Day, Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, X, Judgment Day event that's going on right now. That kicked off like there was seeds in the Hellfire Gala, then there was a Judgment Day one shot. What you need to know is the secret of mutant resurrection is out. And instead of there just being humans that want to like get back at the mutants now that this secret is out, the Eternals have decided to join in on the fray. The Eternals are seeing the mutants as deviants, and more specifically, they're seeing the 5 as needing to be eliminated. And so they're launching this attack on Krakoa and on Arakko, aka the planet Mars. And in these two issues, we're going to find out exactly what's going on or how that's playing out. So Immortal XMen number 5 is going to be focused on, I believe, Vulcan, like trying to defend Krakoa from an insurgents or it's not an insurgents, from an outside attack by the Eternals. And that's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm getting cover A. But then the other part of that is there's an assault on Arakko, and that is happening in X-Men Red number 5, written by, who's writing X-Men Red? Al Ewing, written by Al Ewing. And I believe Valerio Schiti is on art. Fact check me later. But X-Men Red number 5 is going to kind of focus on the Arakko side of that. In the Judgment Day issue, they basically hinted at the fact that there are way more mutants on Arakko than there are on Krakoa. Like, there's like 1 million mutants on Arakko, and there's like 200,000 on Krakoa. And so I'm curious to see how this attack on Arakko is going to go, especially since the Iraqi mutants are like built for war. Like, so this should be an action-packed issue. This should be an exciting issue. It's definitely the one that I'm most excited for this week on the Marvel side. It's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm grabbing cover A. And that's it for my Marvel Comics. Again, they're both part of the Judgment Day event. And as much as I don't want to be excited about it, there are exciting things happening, and they're taking over all the X-Men books that I normally read anyway. So there we go. Hold on. Give me a second. I think there's one missing from my list. Okay, never mind. There's nothing missing. I thought X-Force was coming out this week. It's not. So my Marvel total is just $8 this week. And now let's move on to the indies on the list, where the first one probably shouldn't be there, but it's there, and it's a light week anyway. This is Spawn, issue 332. I don't even know who's writing Spawn. I don't believe Todd McFarlane is writing Spawn at the moment, which probably means it's better than it's been recently. But Carlo Barberi's on artwork, and he's on this cover A. And the cover A is really the reason I'm buying the book at this point. But it's got a cover price of $2.99. And like I said, I'm grabbing cover A. And the last book on my on my indie pull list and on the pull list in general is The Walking Dead Deluxe issue 44. Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead being represented in glorious full color with cardstock covers and letters pages and just all the deluxe treatment. Now, he claims they're never going to collect it, so the only way to get it in color are these single issues. And hey, we're what? A third of the way through the run at this point, so a fourth. But whatever. The Walking Dead Deluxe issue 44 is out this week with a cover A by David Finch, and that's the one I'm getting for the cover price of $3.99. And that's it for the indie books on my list. If I just stick to the list, my indies are going to cost me $7 before taxes and discounts and stuff, which brings me to a whopping grand total for the week of August 3rd of $29. Well done, Kicks. You're $20 under budget. This is great. So I'm excited that I stayed under budget. I should probably revisit my budget, honestly, because it seems like 50 is just too much to spend on comics, even if you have it. Maybe I can make $30 work every week. Maybe that's the challenge. But anyway, $30 this week, and we're done with the pull list. I want to know what you're getting though. What book are you most excited for? How are you feeling about Dark Crisis? Like, are you invested? Are you more invested than I am? What about the Judgment Day on the Marvel side? As much as I do not give a hoot about the Eternals, or honestly the Avengers for that matter, it's got ramifications for the X-Men, and I've been so invested in this Krakoa era of X-Men. I gotta buy it, even though I don't want to buy all these other issues, but I gotta know what happens. So you let me know how you're feeling in the comments down below. I'm going to go find a window to sit in front of, and I'll see you guys in another one very soon. Till then, hope you saw something you liked in this video. If not, hey, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy and be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.